Hi, good morning. I'm Juliette Frazier, Reconnect. Hi, I'm Juliette Frazier Salter. I see a definite shadow here. That is not good at all. I want to tell y'all what happened this morning. I was going to go and get a carafe to paint on this morning because you know now we're supposed to have a little glass of wine before we go to bed at night. So I thought a carafe would be a nice thing to paint on. However, I couldn't find one. But I was in Walmart and look what I found. Isn't this adorable? This is, you can make this a sandwich plate, you can make it a cake plate because it has a dome that goes over it with nothing on it. So I thought, what a great idea. Let me teach y'all how to paint something from a design that already exists. Now you want to change it up some because you don't want to be sued by Walmart, right? So what I did was redraw it. I started to copy it and I decided, well, that might be infringements. However, I don't see copyright on this anywhere and I don't know if Walmart has copyright on everything they sell. However, or maybe the person who designed it. So what I did was redraw it on a piece of transfer paper. Can you see it there? It's right inside. Here's a paper towel roll. Let me put it behind it, see if that will help. Not so much. And of course, I thought this was the perfect place, and then as we went online, I noticed that I have a shadow in the lower part. I'm really sorry about that. I don't know how that even happened. But anyway, we're going to get rid of this shadow soon. But see how I redrew the crowd? It's very much like the original, but it is different. And I went ahead, instead of graphiting on it, because when you use graphite on something that is this thick or this slick, sometimes it doesn't stay on, your hand will rub it off. So I took the design and taped it on the inside, if you can see that. Okay, thank y'all for watching this morning. I see so many of y'all coming on. I am so thrilled. You have really made my day. So as usual, I have a towel or an old t-shirt. I am using bottle paint, deco art, and folk art. See, like this, to do this, because this will allow it to stay on. Now they also make paint that is especially made for plastic, and that's what this is. This is not glass, by the way. So we're going to start. I have a palette. I have a dark blue or a cobalt blue. And as I start to talk, all right, let's see if I can do that better now. Also, I always put black and white on my palette because you never know when you're going to use it. Now I have two different oranges here. One of them is a brighter orange and one is a peach, and then I have the white on the palette with that. So what I'm going to do is go from the colors, because I want it to match this, because it's actually going to sit inside of it. So we're going to start, I'm going to start at the top so that I can work down. My hand will not be in what I'm painting, see, if I start at the top. Always prepare your brush by wetting it first, but you want to take most of the water out. So I just drag it across a towel or an old t-shirt just to pull that water out. So the beginning of this shows a darker orange. I'm sure this is not the same color, but it's looking good. And so I'm going to do this claw up here, the very ends of it. Okay, so this is where I'm painting, right here. And then I'm gonna put a little maybe down in this part, just here and there, you know, just to make it look good. Now over here, I'm gonna start there or the very ends of the claws. Now see where I'm nervous, we know that. So I mashed too hard with that and it went all over the place. So I just took my hand and I absolutely wiped it off. There's nothing like just using your fingers to get rid of things. Okay, now I see we're having difficulty seeing, but I hope that you can see this. we're going to get some overhead lighting so we can overcome these shadows. But, you know, that takes time. So I have to apologize to you. Now, in any of the creases, they get a little wear and tear, so they're going to be a little bit darker, you know, like in their joints. So I'm just putting a little here and there. And I'll show you later really how to clean it up really easy. This is just so easy. But now I'm going to take some of that bright orange and I'm going to come up here because this is acrylics. You don't want them to dry too much. It's better to work on one spot at a time. Okay, so now here we go. Oh, look at that. What do you think, huh? Isn't that two pretty colors together? That's a brighter orange, and we see, I got it way over there. Well, we'll just make that work. We just made his claw just a little wider than what we had anticipated to begin with. So let's go up here and put some of this orange on this claw. Now let me tell you, anytime you are painting with acrylics on plastic or glass, you may have to put in more than one coat at a time, you know, but you want to let it dry and go back and put another coat in, depending on if you want a soft design or you really want it to be a little heavier. That's what you're reaching towards doing this. Now, I wipe my brush out on the towel. When you are working with two colors like orange and blue, they will, when they're mixed, they will probably be brown. So you want to clean your brush in between the two, just quickly. Pick up some blue. Now this blue is cobalt blue, so I have to add a little white with it as I go. Okay, so we're coming over here, and I want to put just a little blue in the crab cloth. And when you don't take the time to mix your paints, you get one color much heavier than the other. And so I got white there. So now we're pulling this blue into it. Oh yeah, there we go. Now when we come back through here, we will probably add some black here and there, and you'll just be amazed at how the black will make it pop. All right, so now in this little area, we're gonna do it blue. Whoa, the air conditioner got cut off. That's a good thing and a bad thing, especially living in Louisiana. But I do appreciate it. I was trying to talk over it. Not that I ever have a problem talking over anything, as many of my friends will tell you. I can hear my friend Seth saying that right now. I had a conversation with him this morning, and so he's fresh on my mind. So. He and my husband team up against me at times. That's all right, I can take them both on. So, all right, so here we go. Now, see what I'm doing here? I'm just patting the color in. We definitely don't want to overdo, which is really easy for me to do when I'm painting or anytime. All right, now I'm pulling that up. Now, I want to show you what we're going to do. Now, see how light that one was? I'm going back in because when you're painting like this, you really need it to have a little heavier look than you would otherwise. Now, if I was doing this in watercolor, it'd be really subtle and really pretty. With a flow, more of a flow to it. Acrylics has a line to it, L-I-N-E. So I'm gonna pull this little claw down. Now this claw, this crab looked like he crawled up and started sliding back down because you know they go backwards. So I put him to where he was gonna crawl up here. Okay, now what I'm going to do here, because I want you to, sometimes when you leave an area, you forget exactly what you want to do. And if you complete an area as you go, and you can always go back and change it, but I hear alarms going off in here. I'm assuming everything is okay. Now, what I am doing is it's a terrible thing when you take a new brush out and you have a hair that's curled up on it. All right, so let's take this, and I am going to, this is a, these are Royal and Lane Nickel, I think is what they're called. Yeah, Royal and Lane Nickel. This is a 20-aught in their Zen line. See the, what would you say? That's kind of a chrome look to the handle. Took me a minute to figure out if I wanted to say platinum or chrome. And it wasn't platinum for sure. Now see, sometimes you can take this, and I have to show you how to do your brush when you're making these lines. Thank you all for watching this morning. Please keep making comments. I wish I could read them now, but I will read them later. Now, see, I have this liner brush. I have this, and when I'm using acrylics, I like to use paper plates or styrofoam plates. I really prefer them, but my granddaughter had these, and had 2 big stacks of them. So I took 2 of them this morning. So what I'm doing is taking this, and I am what I call swiggling out like this, and see what a point is on that brush. Now, it makes it very easy to really line where you want without it being overpowering. Because the heavier your line is, the more your eye draws to it. Whereas you can do like a hit and miss, is what I call it, on the line. And that really draws emphasis to what you want. And then it allows your eye to continue on. So I'm hoping you can see this. All right, so let's come over here. And if you see, if you can tell, my design that I'm painting on here is not exactly the way the pattern is. Oh well. So that's how I feel about it. Now, and I'm just hitting and missing this dark line on here, the black, because it really just makes it pop. But if you have it too thick, like I almost did then, always remember to twist your brush in your hand when you're pulling through the paint. You just kind of twist it like that and you get a perfect line. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can get you a little closer here. You know, you think you have everything positioned exactly right. And then when we go online, and I even video some beforehand, it looks good. But then all of a sudden it's like, what happened? Okay, so here we are doing, now I want to go ahead and do this. And you have to really look to see exactly what I have lined and what I haven't, where it's showing up and where it isn't. And like I say every time, if you decide you want a packet to paint a crab, I have these available. So you just contact me, my phone number, or text me or messenger me. Any of the above I try to stay in touch with. I cannot tell you what an awkward position this is to be painting in now, just in case you wondered. Now I'm going to show you up close. I hope it doesn't blur out there. And of course we have a reflection from the light. But see, this cloud, this is what we just painted. And, okay, and see the design? And just putting that little bit of black on it here and there, that makes a huge difference. There you go, maybe you can see it there. All right, so now we are going to always wash out your brushes, lay them down. Remember, if you keep them in the water like this at an angle, or you'll end up with your ferrule in one hand and your brush handle in the other. Your ferrule in one hand and the brush handle in the other. I'll get it straight, I'm so sorry. Now, this brush that we were using, I am wetting it, I'm wiping it out, and now I'm going back to this over here, and I think I'm gonna put a little of this darker orange in here, more of a, yeah, that's all you can say about it, just to give a little contrast. Okay, that looks good. Now, in this bend of this claw, we're putting some of that. And in the little claw, we're going to put a little in each of its, I guess these would be joints. One thing good about plastic is if you don't like it, you can always scrape it off with the little bit of fingernails I have here. Works well. There we go. All right, now we're going to put some blue in here. Maybe we'll put some of this lighter orange. And what color is that? Let's see. I don't think it's named right. It says scarlet. However, they didn't ask me, did they? Okay, so we're just going to put just a little bit of that orange in there, like here and there, because we want to come back, put some blue in there also. This is a blue king crab. Okay, so, and with doing it a soft paint, like this, you have a little more leeway with where to come back with your liner. All right, now we're taking some of this cobalt blue and we're adding the white in it. I hope all of y'all are having a good day today. That's what it's all about. I apologize. I have terrible sinus problems. So it starts acting up. Now this is not the blue that I wanted, so I'm adding some more blue in it. Just that easy. Now we're putting some. So my orange is kind of acting like my highlight. Like if the light's coming from here, it's pretty well going to catch that orange. I'm over here where I had this orange, I had the blue. I need a little bit more of this bright orange over here. Yeah, to make it catch the light. And there you have it, huh? Now, of course, I'm messing up the black that I had. But you know what? It's easy to go back and put it on there again. Now, with this orange, we had this little area here that his eyes come out of. So, we're putting that bright orange in there. Now, with the liner brush, I am putting some black on it. I'm going to make a little dot here for his eyes. And there is, now I'm going back and put some on the brush, and I'm swiggling that brush out. And I know somebody's telling me, I can't see what you're doing. Okay, so see how I did the eyes there? All right, now, I'm just taking and putting like a little antenna that comes out right there. And I'm putting another one over here. Okay, can you see that? Okay, now when this black dries, I'll put a tiny dot of white in it, and that will make it look like the crab is still alive. If you don't put a little tiny bit of white in their eyes, then it makes them look like they're dead. So we don't want that. So now, I am going back with this other brush that I had, and I am going to put some of the orange in here, right through here, making the little points that they have that helps